Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Helck episode 16. I just got done recording episode 15. It's uploading as we speak, and I'm jumping straight into episode 16. As I release it, there's probably gonna be a couple of hours of break between them. I'd rather space my videos out than release them the very same minute, the very same hour. YouTube likes it more, so that's how it's gonna be. Episode 15. What happened then? Let's do a little bit of a recap, although we are going to see a recap anyway, and I haven't loaded up episode 16 yet. Oh boy. No, not... There we go, episode 16. Okay, there we go, we're good. So, episode 15. Helck makes it to the Demon Lord Castle. The castle is staffed with mannequins that look like the Empire's soldiers, probably to create an illusion of the castle being conquered. In that castle, he meets Azedra and learns the truth that demons are generally a peaceful folk, that monsters don't come from the demons but rather spawn from the land itself, and then Helck comes back to the capital city, where he witnesses a massacre at the front gates, a massacre that was caused by, in part at least, caused by the nobility, who refused to open the gates so that Helck's mercenary friends and the army, the regular army, can escape. So they had to fight to the last drop of blood, and they did, and they succeeded. The soldiers died. It was a massacre, but at least Helck's friends are safe, and Edil. They are all safe. Inside of the capital, he witnesses a stoning of 3 demon folk who are, of course, completely and utterly, not innocuous. Why am I forgetting this word? They're not guilty of anything. That's how I'm gonna say it. And he tries to defend them. One of those says something about New World power, and actually I probably should have noted it down somewhere. New World power. And then they all turn into monsters. In a very painful process that's kind of sort of reminiscent of what the Tothman King went through. He also turned into a very similarly looking creature, which lends credence to my belief that the Tothman King was one of the experiments of humanity. Probably exactly what happened. And Raphael is incredibly sus, because Raphael wants to discourage Helck from talking about things he shouldn't be talking about. He wants Helck to trust him unconditionally. He wants Helck to treat demons as monsters, as enemies, and so on and so forth. He has some sort of an agenda, and it's not a good kind of an agenda. He probably wants to gain a lot of power by, being the one who created the heroification serum. Hard to tell, but he speaks from the walls of the castle and whatnot, so he sees himself as someone high and mighty, and he probably wants power, and probably wants to achieve it in some underhanded ways that are no good for the demons, or for the humans, or for anybody involved, really, except him, probably. Those monsters are then attacked by 3 heroified humans, very generic looking, looking exactly the same pretty much. And later we learn that it is a new process that has been created, an awakening. Something tells me it has to do with Kless still being incapacitated in the bed. They're probably draining his blood or something and turning it into a serum, something along those lines. Especially since earlier we learned that both Thor, the Demon Lord, and Kless were pretty much pacifist. So if they were to meet and if they were to talk, they would just talk things out instead of fighting. Why Kless's injuries then? And why did Thor die? Something tells me one of his teammates was responsible for it. Perhaps Velgion will reveal that to us because he appeared at the end and requested Helck's help, Helck's aid in something. We don't know what. He came here incognito though, in a cloak and whatnot, so he's probably hiding from someone. Probably doesn't want the king or Raphael or anybody to know that he visits Helck. And of course, Helck wants to talk about what he talked about with Azedra, with Alice and Edil, but he believes that going to a restaurant for a nice dinner with Alice would be the best occasion to do that, and of course he doesn't see it as a date, but Alice sees it as a date, and everybody else sees it as a date. Helck is the classic shonen protagonist in that regard, denser than osmium and whatnot. And that basically sums things up. We're gonna see a recap anyway, so why am I even talking about it? And in today's episode, I expect shit to go down. I expect what's the good term that I heard for it? Defecation hitting the ventilation. That's what I expect from today's episode. The signs are there. Helck is slowly but surely growing disillusioned with humanity and growing more and more towards the demon kinda, sorta. Right? He begins to see the humans as the villains. He begins to question. And with Zelgion's appearance, something tells me that the big reveal will be, hey, yo, Helck, they're using your brother. I need your help to free him, or something like that. That probably goes awry. They probably are then betrayed by Raphael. I can see that being the case. Maybe even betrayed by Shalami. I don't think so, but there's a potential that Raphael put some things in her head that would make her go against them. And I can see it going bad for everybody involved. Zelgion, Edil, Harul, probably Alicia as well are gonna get injected with the heroification serum, which will provide mind control for the demon king. No, for the human king. For the human king, so that they don't go against his wishes, against his plans, and Helck will be left all alone. As he said, he no longer has any friends. Because they've been mind controlled, they are no longer themselves. So that's probably what's gonna happen. Helck is going to lose everything, and the one last thing he's gonna have left is the pamphlet from Azedra, and that's where he's going to go. To the Demon King contest. That's what's gonna happen. That's my prediction for today's episode. I can finally make a good and proper prediction that I can actually base on something. Okay, I think that does it for the intro. So how about we just watch this episode? To do that, you will of course need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel monetarily on Patreon or YouTube, linked down below or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you nothing and it helps a lot. And with all of that out of the way, we can start watching Helck episode 16 in 3, 2, 1, go. Episode 16, so we are 2/3 through the season. Yeah. Lemon seeds. Yeah, Raphael, of course, wants to wage war. And the opening. Yeah, we still don't know the identity of the bird lady. Either Alicia or Shalami is how I see it. Unless Alicia dies, she remains the only one loyal to Helck. But Shalami takes the serum so that she can protect Kless. Seems feasible. And she's the only one with a helmet because Raphael, being the scumbag that he is, still wants to protect his daughter. Maybe, I don't know. And that really looks like Kless is hooked up to some sort of umbilical cord and is skinned. That's probably the most striking detail there. But there are some, like, I don't know, veins coming out of him, so he's probably being sucked dry for the hero serum. The truth behind Awakening. There we go. There we go. All of my theories. All of my theories. Yeah, speak. Mm-hmm. The risk is losing your mind. Yeah. Hmm. Now we know why the outer villages were empty. They are the ones responsible. Of course they are. Right. And we already know that they're going to fail. We need to assassinate the spellcaster. The king and Kless. Kless. Yeah? He's just being used as an ingredient, essentially. Yeah. Yeah. Only Helck is able to do that. He reached it. Yeah. Kless also has the hairband. Dogeza? Dogeza. That's a nice dress. And that's a long neck. Yeah, it kind of sucks that we already know how it's going to end. We already know that at least Edil and Zelgion are gonna get mind controlled. We don't know what's gonna become of Alice quite yet. Whose voice was that? Harul? Yeah, nobody's gonna recognize Helck. Yeah, almost too smoothly, huh? Or just sneak past. Yeah. There's more. Not a problem for Helck. Okay, so they really are nowhere near close an actual hero. If even Alicia and Edil can just defeat them without much of a problem. And Zelgion. Please don't stop. take care of class first, then talk about it. You're gonna have a lot of time to talk about it, Helck. Maybe now is not the best time. Of course. Of course. Alicia? Of course. Propaganda does wonders, doesn't it? Okay. She's reasonable. Save class now, maybe? No? Says who? That's very technological looking. Totally not ominous. Do you have a source of light? No? Okay. Oh, there's a source of light. Whomst? Kles? King? Rafaed? Kles. And Rafaed. Or Mikaros? Mikaros. Time for beheading. Helck, rip off his head. How about we erase it? Whomst? Oh, just a random noble. A lot of random nobles. Well, I mean, we have a chance to get rid of all of them at the same time. And the king up at the top. Kill them? Save class? Why are you listening to them? Yes, I'm with you, Alicia. Grab class and bail. Punch the king in the face while you're at it. Grab class and run. Okay, mind control is in effect. Not on Helck, though. Helck, please punch the king. Are you going to do anything? No. Okay. We're just gonna keep talking, I guess. Kless. Kless himself. Arise. Turned even Kless into a puppet, huh? Similar to the aura around the Tothman King. Kill the king. Kill the caster to dispel the spell. No? Okay, we can just continue talking. I guess that's also fine. Oh, power from the other world, huh? Is that the new world power that one of the demons was talking about? Take away his sword. Break his arms. Kill Mikaros. Kill the king. No, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it is a perfect opponent, except Helck can still incapacitate him without killing him. That's a possibility. Whomst? Oh, Alicia. He can regenerate. And it's a hero-killing sword, isn't it? Yep. Grab Kless and run. Stop talking, grab him and run. Grab him and run. Grab him and run. Grab him and run. Why are you still here talking? Why are you still here talking? Why are you still here talking? Yes! Thank you for being reasonable. Grab him and run! Run! Everybody run. Kill Mikaros. Stab him. Behead him. Kick him. Something, anything. Or you can just stand there and do nothing. That's fine as well, I guess. You should have stood around and talked more. That would have helped, maybe. Yeah, I mean, you should have listened to his monologue a little bit more, standing there like a fucking pile of rocks. That would have been better. I'm gonna be honest with you. Worst episode so far. Honestly. Maybe it was better in the source material, I don't know, but this was just... This was shit. First half was fine. Getting the truth revealed, that was cool. But everybody just fucking standing around like useless pieces of shit, listening to overly long monologues that even I just fucking tuned out. Why? 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 Why do that? Let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. A recap. OP. And yeah, what we knew is happening happens. Close. They lose all sense of self. They lose all personality. They lose their mind. Essentially, it's not hero serum that is being pumped out of Kles, so I was incorrect on that account. But Kles does serve as a catalyst. They aren't human anymore, and he intends to cast that spell on every citizen who isn't a member of nobility. I initially, at first, I wasn't down with this plan in that I didn't like it as an unrealistic plan. Because I'm kind of used to the fact that nobility is fucking morons in any sort of media. They control the world and at the same time need assistance breathing. They're so fucking stupid. And I was under the impression that it's a plan like one of many, right? Oh, we will kill the poor because the poor are poor and we don't want them around, so we're gonna kill them all. And usually the downside of that is who's gonna work the fields? And the nobles usually just don't think about it. They want to kill the poor because the poor are poor. And that's all. That's their entire reasoning. They want to starve them out because they don't deserve food, but they don't take into account that the food that those villagers make also gets onto their tables, and they're usually utterly fucking stupid like that. Not in this case, because they're not getting rid of the general populace, right? They aren't starving them out. They aren't sacrificing them to their god or what have you. They are turning them into machines. essentially. They will still be able to work the fields, they will still be able to build buildings, they will still be able to do all those things. So for the nobility, nothing changes. This plan is actually smart. You know, it's disgraceful, but it is smart. I like it. I really do like this plan. I like how it works. I like how it's laid out. I like that the nobles aren't fucking idiots. It's a breath of fresh air. They're trying to remake this kingdom into a new world that exists solely for nobility, and this is a plan that makes sense. It's not, let's put all of the poor people into the mines to mine gold kind of a plan. It's not move all of the poor people onto the secluded island kind of a plan. It's not sacrifice them all to our Lord and Savior Balal kind of a plan. This actually can work. It's utilitarian. It's, you know, it can work. Thank you. Good. Thumbs up. For actually good writing and good planning here. Mikaros devised it, of course he did, and Rafael is also behind it. The spell that's used to trigger Awakening, created by the king, so we already knew that the king is the source of it, and Kles is the catalyst. That was the missing part that we didn't know yet. Now we do. The plan can't proceed if these two people are taken out of the picture. So we either grab Kles and Bale so that he cannot be used as a catalyst, or we kill the king, which you could have done, but you didn't. Figures. We don't know where the king is, so not like we can plan the assassination, but we can grab Kles and Bale with him. Alicia is on board as well. Yeah, those fake heroes we already knew that they are weak, but they are, it seems to me that a random person turned into a hero is enough to kill monsters, has enough strength to kill monsters, but isn't as strong as a well-trained regular human, like Alicia, like Edil, for example, right? And if you turn Alicia or Edil into a hero, they grow, proportionally stronger. From this point on, this episode really took a nosedive. It really took a nosedive. Why are you stopping in the middle of an action and you're just talking? I mean, I know why, because they're not gonna have a chance to talk about it in the future, so we need to get it out now, but it doesn't make sense in world, right? And of course, Alicia stands with Helck. I already knew that. Everybody is here. No, you will not enslave us. Oh, it's the king, and king has mind control powers. Who'd have thought? Helck is free from those mind control powers, of course. Talking. Kles has special powers. Mikaros figured it out. Everything started when Helck and Kles went under the care of Rafael. Basically, that's why they were given so much care. If they were just random basic orphans, Rafael would just not bother with them, or maybe he would have saved them, but that's it. but they were given a good life so that class can rise in the ranks and can gain levels and so on and so forth, and can be eventually used as a catalyst. Class is alive, or rather, his body is being controlled. I'm not sure if Kless is still inside of there. Maybe he is. Maybe Kless is actually just unconscious still, but the king is controlling him. Controlling his body like a puppet. Dark Aura really reminds me of the Tothman King. Reminds me of the Tothman King and reminds me of Augis. They both had this sort of a dark aura around them. Yada yada yada, talking. Hero killer, of course. Hero slayer, it's useful because it can slay heroes. They can now grab Kless and run. Talking. Not doing anything, standing around talking. That's the episode. That's the episode. And Helck gets pierced by the sword, it seems. But we know that he's alive, so perhaps he's some sort of an uber hero that won't be killed even with a hero slayer. Maybe. Helck is a chosen one among chosen ones. Helck is a hero among heroes, not even the hero slayer can slay him. I guess we have an answer as to who the bird lady is as well, Alicia, because that sword belonged to her. So when she got heroified, she was probably given that sword as well. I'm looking for something to talk about here, but it's just a bunch of standing around and talking. It's just standing around and talking. That's it. That's it. That's the episode. That's the episode. 40-something minutes, but fuck it. There isn't really anything more to talk about. If it wasn't obvious, I really didn't enjoy the second part of this episode. I really didn't. Again, probably adaptation issues. In the source material, there probably was a reason why Helck couldn't just fucking jump up there and break the neck of the king and solve the problem. There probably was a reason why what's her face, Alicia, didn't actually kill Mikaros. Maybe, but so far, to me, it seems like so far in what was shown in the anime, because that's the only thing I can judge here. It's like those fights that you see so often where no, bad example. Those classic, not low budget even, action movies, spy thrillers and whatnot, right? When where the bad guy has someone dangle over a pit of sharks, and that someone dangles there and dangles there and dangles there, and the bad guy just talks about their entire plan, the launch codes, his weaknesses, all of his childhood, and keeps talking and talking and talking, and that gives the hero the time to take a hairpin out of his sleeve and slowly work at the rope to free himself, and it's just fucking idiotic. That's what it feels like to me, but the opposite, right? You have Mikaros stand there, talk about his plans. Oh, I'm so evil, ha ha ha. Oh, how evil I am. Oh, ha ha ha, I'm so evil. I'm using your brother. Didn't see that coming, ha ha ha. And everybody is around there standing with their swords. Just listening. Just not doing anything, not moving in, just listening. I mean, I guess it's nice of them to not interrupt when someone's speaking, but you probably fucking should have. You probably should have. Yeah, this really didn't sit well with me. It explains things. Sure, it works in that regard. It explains Helck's hatred. It explains why he claims to have no friends, because Zalgion, Edil, Alicia probably are all mind controlled, or are all just empty husks controlled by the king. So of course that's what Helck would say. It works for world building and works for the overarching story, but doesn't work for anything else. There wasn't any action. I'd rather Zelgion lose his cool, seeing what's happening, and throw himself at the king and be struck by lightning or something and dead, or something, some reaction, any sort of a reaction, anything, rather than just standing and listening to Mikaros talk about his entire life, and listening to all those Senate members just talking. Oh ho ho! I'm an evil noble. Nobility rules. Ah ha ha! Nobility and the peasantry can go fuck themselves. Nobility rules, and everybody just stands there and listens. Yeah, and then Helck fights Kless. Then Mikaros goes to fight Alicia, and everybody just stands there, does nothing, doesn't help Alicia. Alicia does nothing to evade the attack. Maybe they were already fucking turned into puppets, just their hair didn't go white. That would be the only explanation why they're behaving like fucking mannequins. Pieces of set dressing, rather than actual characters who came here for a fucking purpose. Can I find anything redeeming in the second half? Not really, no. Again, the substance. The substance is good. The substance is good. Giving Helck the reason for his hate works. The plan as laid out by the king and Mikaros works. Raphael's involvement works. The reason why they use class works. Everything, the substance works. Just the presentation sucks ass. Right? The presentation sucks ass, and I can't say it any other way. I'm sorry. I hope the next episode marks the end of this flashback, and we get back to adventuring with Vermilio, because that was good. That was fun. That was cool. This is not, especially since it was supposed to serve as a kind of a climax of this whole storyline, right? Of this whole, of, you know, Helck's explanation as to the nature of the heroes, etc., etc. This is it. This is it. Next, we're gonna see Zelgion, Ediel, and Alicia turn into puppets. We're gonna see the Hero Slayer being broken. We're gonna see Helck run away. Right, we're gonna see that, but that's the fallout of what happened here. This is the climax. And it just fell flat. It just fell flat. Like a, I don't know, Dragon Ball fight, where the fight, if you were to compress it, lasts 5 minutes, but in a show it lasts 5 episodes, because every single participant of that battle has to talk about their entire life story, and then you also get shots at the audience, how they are talking about their life stories, and you get 5 levels deep into flashbacks, and that stretches that fight. You know, everybody just stands there ready, Super Saiyan 11 with their hair glowing, and waits until that one guy just, you know, tells about his childhood, and then they throw a punch or two, and then someone else talks about their childhood. Like, that's how it felt to me. That's how it felt. I hope future episodes are better. Because so far, Helck, amazing show, 10 out of 10. I love it. I loved every single episode. I have no criticism. I had no criticism for any of them. I don't know what happened here. I genuinely don't know what happened here. I think what also adds to my frustration here is that one of my biggest, if not the biggest, pet peeve of mine is trouble because the writer says so. Right? I mean, sure, it makes sense that characters would get into trouble because the writer says so, but what I'm talking about is that characters in a given situation are perfectly capable of dealing with that situation. They are perfectly capable of fighting their way out. They're perfectly capable of teleporting away. They're perfectly capable of doing anything, but they just stand there because the author of the work decided that they should be defeated here. They should take a beating. So they do nothing. They just stand there and take a beating because the author said so. This is my biggest pet peeve ever, and this is just it. So maybe a good chunk of my ire just comes from that. Maybe my judgment is clouded by it. My mind is clouded by hatred. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking because I said my piece and I'm just spinning in circles now. I'm just ranting. I'm just ranting, and I should probably stop. So yeah, I think we're just gonna end it here. But you guys, tell me, how did you like this episode? My reaction, my theories. How was it in the source material? Maybe it was better. Tell me about it. As long as it's not a spoiler. Spoilers, go to my Discord here and in the description if you want to, but not in the comments, please. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases, not only Helck, but also Free Ren, Shangri-La Frontier, Magia Record, Undead Girl Murder Farce, Shield Hero, and plenty of other shows coming at you in the future. I also stream sometimes, so click the bell to be notified of when I go live. Support the channel if you want to monetarily on Patreon, linked down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me on YouTube itself, also down below, via super thanks, memberships, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the list of my wonderful Patreons: QB without the net, the Survivor, Zay, Rainer, Shoshua, Kamaser, Fassel, David, Dr. Watt, Marsh, Yukela, and Hans Peter. And you can join them, and you don't need to stand around like a pile of rocks to do that.